With me in the studio this hour, Dan Perry is the author of Ask Questions Later, a newsletter, and the former Europe and Middle East editor for the Associated Press. Good to see you, Dan. Thank you very much for joining us. The Iranians have tied their attack on Israel now, it would seem, to the hostage talks due to take place on Thursday. Do you think they're trying to climb down from the very tall tree that they find themselves up?
It kind of looks that way. It would give them an exit ramp, as it were, because I don't think they necessarily want a huge war. They have gained so much, sad to say, from the past 10 months in a variety of ways that we can discuss at length later if you wish, that they would be wise to sort of take yes for an answer and de-escalate. Instead, they've maneuvered themselves into a position where their pride has forced them to threaten what would amount to an escalation. Now, it is a strange statement, because if an attack on Israel is somehow necessary, and they're honor-bound to do that as a result of the assassination of Haniyeh in Tehran while they were hosting him, that's one narrative. I fail to see how that connects to the talks in Gaza. It almost sounds like now they're threatening Israel, talks about Gaza. It sounds like they're threatening Israel with attack unless Israel capitulates to Hamas in some form or another, which is a whole different story. Or would they be willing to swallow their pride as a reward to Israel? It's an odd sort of linkage that fundamentally suggests that they both would like to compel a deal in Gaza and that they would like a way to climb down. It's nonetheless reassuring that they would like to compel a deal in Gaza, because it's kind of understood that a deal in Gaza is the beginning of the wind down of the war, which again suggests that they don't want a bigger war. Otherwise, they wouldn't necessarily be trying to influence things that way.
Do you think that's their own calculations? They've realised that it might not be a great idea to attack Israel because of the consequences, how Israel might hit them back? Or do you think this is a result of all the very serious diplomatic efforts in recent days from everyone, from the Americans to the Arabs to the Europeans?
I think they're very much connected. The United States, by moving in all the weapons of war that they have moved in, and by threatening them publicly with devastating consequences should they miscalculate, I think changed the equation, rebalanced the equation, and it's clear that despite the antipathy of the Biden administration to the Netanyahu government, this is an exception, and they will come to the aid of Israel. As I've said on numerous occasions, the Iranian regime is rather brittle, and I don't think they would welcome devastating consequences that would almost, well, with a high degree of probability, reignite demonstrations and opposition activity in Iran itself, which could be effective in the context of a war where the regime's infrastructure and centers of power are being attacked and destroyed.